And for this joyous Christmas day, hope everyone got all the Christmas that they wanted. I'm skipping way ahead in the story of my road trip. Last left off, I was still exploring beaches during the summer. But that winter, it would be 81, December of 81, I'd been in contact with my parents back east and had actually convinced them to send me a bus ticket. Bus ticket home, cross country, from Los Angeles, no less, I was in San Diego at the time, San Diego, California, all the way across country to Danville, Virginia, where I'd be able to spend Christmas with them and my brothers and their families. I got talked into taking the ticket down and cashing it in for a cheaper one. I think it was a Greyhound ticket, and Trailways was cheaper, so I let a couple of guys take the ticket while I was sort of camping out in a hotel room, trying not to let anybody know I was there, because somebody else had rented the room. Some of the things you do when you're on the road. I let a couple of guys take the ticket down the bus station and cash it in to get the cheaper ticket, and what we were going to do is buy a beer with what was left and celebrate a little bit before I took my journey home. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and hours passed and the guys weren't coming. And they had taken the ticket, cashed it in fully, and not bought the cheaper ticket. Had just taken the balance and bought beer and wine and whatever else, and gotten some of their buddies together. There's about, 7 or 8 of them. When I found them, they were over in another room at the same hotel, and they had all the beer and wine all around them. And when I first confronted them and said, "What'd you do with my ticket? What'd you do with my money?" They claimed they'd gotten robbed. The two guys that went with the ticket claimed they'd gotten robbed, but everybody in the room, and it was 6 or 7 of them, were drinking and smoking cigarettes and eating chips or whatever. I don't know what all. The obvious payoff of what the ticket had amounted to, and I don't think it was more than maybe $100. Don't really blame them. Should have just taken the trip home. So now I had no way home. It was, I think, a week before Christmas. At some point I decided I had to leave if I was going to try to get home hitchhiking. 40 goes into Los Angeles, and then if you go south to San Diego, 10 or 20, I forget which it is there, goes back from San Diego to the East Coast. So that was my main route. That was how I was going to get most of the cross country. Plus, since it was colder, it's better to be a little further south. And I remember starting out, and I don't know, it probably took me a week. I wasn't getting a lot of rides to get to or into Arizona. And I got to this rest stop, and I sort of camped out there for a few days. I could sleep in the restroom, at least get out of the wind, and mostly kind of be scarce, but try to hook up a ride from the rest stop rather than just being out in the middle of the highway somewhere, because it started getting right cold, especially desert air when it's real arid. And I remember this one morning waking up. I don't think I was there more than maybe a day or two trying to get a ride. This one morning waking up, and some guy was handing me an orange, I believe in an apple, and said "Merry Christmas" and walked on out. Then some other guy that came in, he said, "Wait a minute." He went out and came back, gave me 2 eggs. I don't think they were boiled, they were just raw eggs. "Merry Christmas." And then some other guy came in and had a fat spleef. For those that don't know, that's marijuana. "Merry Christmas." I don't know, somebody maybe gave me some cigarettes and a few dollars. I think somebody gave me a $10 bill or something like that. All these people, everybody I'd see, somebody gave me some candy, were giving me things and stuff. And I'd already, I don't know, you run into people that are generous and they'll give you something when they can. But it wasn't like this particular morning, and it just didn't dawn on me at first. But here I was out in the middle of the desert, nowhere. I'd lost my bus ticket home to go spend Christmas of 1981 with my parents and family, be reunited with them. Having been away since May, and a lot of that period of time, they didn't know where I was. I didn't get in touch with them till, I don't know, September or something. It was fall before I got in touch with them. So May to September, they didn't know where I was, and then September to December, they knew I was out in California somewhere, didn't know a whole lot about what was going on. And I talked them into giving me a ticket, sending me a bus ticket to get home for Christmas, and then I went and wasted it, thinking I could pull some kind of scheme to get a few more bucks out of it to get some beer, and then have a cheaper ticket and go back east. And that didn't work out, and so then I'm hitchhiking and get out into the middle of Arizona desert at some rest stop along Highway 10, Highway 20, and not knowing what day it was, and it dawned on me, oh, it's Christmas. All these people, I don't know from who they are or where they're going, but all this generosity, this spirit just sort of overflowing from them, was Christmas in the desert, nobody there. I didn't know anybody. And you know, it can mean whatever you want it to mean. It can be a season to recognize family and recognize religious beliefs and various ways to celebrate and share with those around you. And I think that's kind of the best thing of it. You can find a way to share what you have with others around you, and I think you'll find most of the time they'll share back, and everybody feels a little bit closer to something that they're a part of. That's the best part of it for me. I think throughout the ages of man that there's been celebrations in winter for a reason. In the winter, things get hard, things are tough. Food starts to run out because you're only eating off of what you stored up. You can't be growing it in the winter time. At least not most places that get cold in winter. Places I'm used to being. And so people get together, and body warmth, if no other thing, to help each other out and help cheer each other up. The sun's not out as much often. It's rainy or snowy or other kinds of problems. It's not like the summer where you're getting a lot of sunshine. They say that beta-carotene or whatever helps your spirits. And so it's just a good time to get together with others and share what you have and be able to help each other make it through the hard time. And that's what Christmas means to me. Sharing with others and helping each other get through the hard time. I hope everyone gets to share that time with theirs, with their loved ones and with their friends and people around them. Everyone has a safe and happy Christmas. Merry Christmas.